What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Today gonna be working on the Trans Am. We're here with Little E.
What's up?
Say what up. Alright guys, today we are going to be doing an F-body delete on the trunk pan. So it's going to be a how-to style video. Basically what we're going to be doing is cutting the whole ugly, weird lower hump that all these things have. I know all you guys hate them. We're going to be doing the delete how-to on it, just to kind of make a flat surface for if you guys are running your air to water box. A nice flat surface to do all that. If you're going to be running another tank, kind of put it in the back. Nice little flat surface for you to work on. So this ugly monster right here, it will be coming out. I mean, it's just kind of awkward. Some of you guys that go to the track, I know you don't like to reach all the way down in there to fill up your ice or you know, your E85 or whatever
fuel.
you're using.
Yeah,
So,
the fuel and everything. So we're gonna basically make a panel that goes on top of here from end to end, covers across it, and then we're gonna cut this out all the way around this and delete, cut all that out, and then put the panel back on there, and then it'll be just nice and flat. You'll save a little bit of weight, not a lot of weight, just, I mean, you might save 5-10 pounds, but more to get everything out of the way and make more room underneath the car and everything else.
definitely. Alright guys, to start off everything, I just want to kind of tell y'all, GM or Pontiac or whatever factory built this thing, they kind of just smear body seam just kind of everywhere. Like I had pieces here that were probably 1.5 inches thick that, well, didn't really need to be there. So you want to kind of clean it out first before you start measuring, because, you know, 1.5 inches, I mean, that's just a major amount of measurement that you need to make up for. So just kind of clean all this up all the way down. The same with here. There was a big glob right there for no reason at all. So clean that up, measure out everything before you start cutting. All right, let's get to the metal. We actually got the metal out on the table. Little E is already drawing up our sketch that he's going to cut out with the plasma real quick. Next, after we cut it out, we're actually going to we got our own little bead roller machine here, one that Little E made a while back, and we're actually going to bead roll a big square in the bottom of it. And what that does is it adds extra strength in the metal, so you don't have to put like no bottom cross support or anything like that to keep it from flexing or anything. Putting a couple bead rolls in it will actually help that a lot, and kind of just make everything tighter inside. So Little E's right here finishing up the sketch out right over here. And what we're doing is on the sides we are actually adding about 1.5 inches. So when you slid it up in there, you have to bend up the sides to actually tack around it and then seam seal when you're done. So let's get to cutting on the plasma. Alright guys, Little E's got the metal cut out. It takes 2 people to run that bead roller, so I'm going to go over there and help him. I got you on the table. Stick around for the ride. Okay guys, we got the B-roll put in this thing. It looks pretty cool. Let's check it out real quick. Alright, this is what it did. We just did a very simple square all the way down it and down the two sides. This is where the two sides I was talking about that we have to flip up. This one is slightly shorter than this one. This one will be facing the back of the car.
This one right here, we've been about a 1-inch lip in it. And this side's about an inch and a half, maybe an inch and 3/4. Yeah, it's an inch and a half. And we kind of, you'll see it when we get it in there, we kind of bent this a little bit to follow the shape. So when we seam seal it, it'll be a little bit easier to close it up.
A quick little test fit before we cut it out. All right, so what he's talking about that got bent was along this back wall. There's these two little dips here. Just kind of take your hammer, kind of beat into it just a little bit. Just to kind of get a better shape.
It actually goes a little bit more. We kind of bent it out a little bit in the bead roller, so we need to bend it back in just a little bit, get it a little closer so it's not such a gap when we seam seal it.
But isn't that nice, guys? Nice, smooth, flat surface.
And then we're going to go along and we're going to put little small tack welds all the way around it and get it all tacked in there real good. And then we'll go back and paint it, seam seal it, and get it all finished up where it'll look nice, like it was there, like it should have been there.
Guys, this is to me it's a good looking shape. It's something I've always wanted to do because I hate that hump down there.
But basically, you can see once it goes there, we have to come along here and cut this out all the way around. And you're going to get rid of all that. And trust me, this is a lot thicker than this. This is a lot heavier. So I wouldn't be surprised you lose at least 10 pounds because this really don't weigh but a couple pounds.
Yeah. Also, guys, just to let y'all know a little FYI, this seam seal, when you're using the grinder to cut this off, it makes a ton of smoke and it just gets everywhere. So try to do it outside and not in the garage. But let's get to cutting the rest of it out. Alright guys, we got the grinder in here. Literally's wearing his PPE for all y'all that talk shit. So he pretty much made a sketch all the way around. In case y'all were wondering, we are not going to cut, let's see if you get a better angle here, there. We are not going to cut all the way up top because the tank saddles actually come down to the very bottom. So you're going to have to get underneath and kind of figure out where exactly it goes. But we're going to start cutting so you can see what we're talking about.
Later on, when we take this tank out and put an actual fuel cell in here, then we can go back and cut it up higher from underneath the car and get rid of it all the way. But right now, the bottom tank mount goes down here where the straps go, here and here. So you have to kind of leave this bottom wall if you're leaving your stock gas tank.
So for right now, we're going to be using the stock gas tank, so we're just going to try to get it as close as we can to that. Let's get to it. Site cut out. As you can see, we left a little bit of the back wall left because that's where it holds the saddle for the gas tank. Look at that. So like we said, it cuts along this back wall. and it has those two little humps there that you're going to have to make a bend for the lip that goes up. And now we're going to get in here and tack it up. All right, we got the trunk plate in here. Little sanded it down. He's about to do some tack welding. Kind of cleaned it up. Now you can see the B-roll a lot better. Nice simple little square, and he's going to get to tacking.
Basically, that's you'll go around and you'll go all the way and do the whole thing all the way. We're just trying to show you what you need to do to get it all done. I mean, we're not going to bore you with trying to go through and weld the whole thing up solid and stuff, but we'll go through and put tacks about every inch or so all the way around the whole thing, and then we'll go back and finish bending this back where it's flush and seam seal it. And
literally put some weight in the middle of that.
Sturdy. You don't want me to get all of this up in there.
No, put your hands in there though. I mean, there's no flexing. I mean, he's bouncing on it, but there's no flex.
When you put a bead roll in it, it puts it doubles the strength of it. It keeps all the flex out of it.
That's what we want. So that's where we're going to be mounting our air to water. Is somewhere in the middle here, or off to one side. And then later, when we upgrade the fuel system, then we're going to be putting an actual fuel cell in the back. So that's going to be pretty good. You got the tank? We're going to be putting the water box back over here. Yep. Somewhere right over there. So it actually kind of fits perfect in the square that we made. See that?
And then later, when we take that tank out and the pumps out of it, we put a fuel cell. It'll go right here on this side. And then we give you plenty of room.
And we're also going to be sticking the battery down in this corner here. We'll be doing that later, so we're going to relocate the battery back here. So overall, I'm pretty happy with all this. Turned out nice and flat, flush. Looks real good. This is the piece that we cut out. And I mean, it's got some weight to it. I mean, what do you think, about 10 pounds?
You probably cut almost 10 pounds out between that and some of the other stuff we cut out, especially when we go back and cut that other piece out when we put the fuel cell in it.
Correct.
You're gonna get,
you know, give or take, guys, around 10 pounds.
10 pounds. And then if you go to mount, if you need to mount a rear mounted radiator or anything like that now underneath the car, you got all that room up underneath there to mount your rear mounted radiator.
Exactly.
Fans and all that stuff, and you got plenty of room right there.
Right on. So guys, we're going to be finishing it up right now. That's what you got to do to do an F-body rear trunk delete pan, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Get a nice flat surface there. That's what you got to do. It was pretty easy. If you got simple fabbing skills, that's all it takes. Instead of you going out and buying one, you can make one. I mean, it cost us what, a couple bucks?
Yeah, I mean, that was a piece of metal that was laying around.
Yeah.
We had laying around already. So
it was a couple bucks, guys, and you can get it done instead of going buying one. Just make it. You know, put some knowledge to it and make it. So, next, seam seal it, paint it, whatever you want to do to it. And that Cummins guy comes every time we record a video. All right, guys, until next time, we'll gap you later.